I'm told that some issues are always around, so I brought them. You can ask them or not ask them. So who wants to start with some? Herb. Herb Ressing's on the Marina Advisory Board. Stand up, Herb.
This is a Canadian. I have an opportunity to travel around a lot of the marinas. And for the last 2 to 3 months, we've had a fire truck parked at the Lauderdale Marine Center. And I guess my question is this selective enforcement? Why is it necessary? What's the criteria of parking a fire truck at a marine facility?
I believe we made the Marina aware of this situation a year and a half ago. And specifically, this past May, I issued a cease and desist order to, in regards to paint spraying. I walked away from it until November of this past year to give additional time. I've talked to the Marina people, and we said that, you have to get a fire protection engineer and a design person to resolve this problem. So they, of course, have their concerns about business and about their operations and making sure that they were in the height of their paint spraying season in a time period immediately after the boat show. And perhaps their attention was directed in other areas. But a significant period of time passed without compliance with the fire code. And like I said, the issue that we're dealing with is paint spraying, and the manner in which you do it does not comply with the fire code. It's not even close. The truck is there and in an effort to resolve or for us to get past this part that it doesn't comply with the code. So what can we do that's demonstratively different than what was in place before? So we're trying to address it. The Marina has hired a consulting company. They have a fire protection engineer. We're going to go through a pretty significant process. We're anticipating, I spoke to the consultant, the fire protection engineer this week. We're anticipating getting their proposal, perhaps even today or tomorrow. We're going to make a review. But your responsibility is, and I implore you to get in on the front end of the code writing business. Call the National Fire Protection Association and get involved in their committees and get involved in the process and represent your industry, because your input has to be involved. It has to be a part of this process, because what we have now to work with you guys on this does not address your needs at all. Does not remotely address your needs. So you have to be in on the solution part of this. Lauderdale Marine is going to be on the solution part temporarily, because they're unfortunately they're paying for this process. They're on the front end of it, but they're going to be the major player in helping resolve this issue, at least for the next 2 or 3 years.
Inside the tent, which sucks the fumes. Then we have to have a marine chemist come in there and test the air quality, not only inside but outside. Then we have to have an electrician come and make sure that our electrical power to our pedestal or our 50 amp, whichever we were drawing from for electrical requirements, is all set. And then we had a little permit on there that signed off and checked, and I think it was 3 inspections, if I'm correct. So once we do that, is that up to code? Is that where we're allowed to spray then?
Temporarily, that's what our solution is, but that process, that process does not comply with the code either. Okay. It's a reasonable attempt to try and meet what the goal of the code is, what the code is striving to accomplish.
Okay.
But, and as 30 years experience in this business and understanding the needs of the industry, I've tried to make a reasonable application here. Can you look at the fire code and say that I'm applying the letter of the code here? No, because the letter of the code is not applicable. Your goal is in a post-catastrophic environment. Can you demonstrate to everyone that's going to come behind us and second guess, did you take reasonable means to safeguard people that may have been hurt?
Has there been an instance in history where there's been a flammable instance?
We had a catastrophic fire in Fort Lauderdale on that very site in 1996.
From spray paint?
It was a $15 million fire. Electrical was a contributing factor. Scaffolding was a contributing factor, and house cleaning was a contributing factor. Members of crew vessels that are sleeping inside the encapsulation, not necessarily at Lauderdale Marine, we haven't heard that, but in the industry, we've heard, and you guys can confirm it, that small portions of the crew are required to stay with the boats. So if they're sleeping in encapsulations, they're going to potentially exit the boat into an encapsulation that's not properly illuminated, that doesn't meet the travel distance for the life safety code to get out, that doesn't have the door or the opening that complies with the life safety code. There's nothing about this that complies with the code. So I can assure you that we are, all of us, are being very reasonable because you guys are still in business and you're still operating, and we want you to survive. I can't be more adamant about that. I can't be more, speak to you with more passion about it. We are going to come to a resolution here, and I'm going to do everything I can. I've talked to all the, I was at the Fire Marshal Association on Tuesday, telling them that we anticipate getting the resolution out of here that'll be universally applicable, at least in South Florida. Hopefully, all the other jurisdictions will adopt this. And I can assure you that nobody wants to shut down the marine industry. So we're going to get to somewhere where I think that you guys are going to find that's pretty reasonable.
State Road 84 does not have enough water to supply us with sprinklers at a given pressure because it drops off tremendously during the day. If the butterfly huggers smell paint, they call it right away. The EPA has called on us. They even came out and did tests on bottom paint, going to water-based bottom paint, which still has a smell for the first 24 hours as it's drying. So what does a facility like us do? We can't expand. We cannot put a paint booth in. We do paint in the water. Very little painting is done on land, and it is totally contained. I have heard crews staying on board during fire, during paint operations, or not usually during the spraying, but at night because the insurance man left. But there are insurance policies here called 3,900 policies that maintain boats over 100 feet to be made 24/7. So we got a situation there where we have conflicting laws, everybody guiding us. In 2005, the marine industries right here was an $18 billion industry. The economy fell in 2007, but we've been regulated out of business. Virtue of the pole signs were all taken down by the the city of Dania code enforcement.